Okay, so welcome back to Unredacted Feather. So glad you're here with us today. So over the past couple of episodes, we've showed you kind of why we do what we do, and now we're going to get back into the law and hopefully rely on my 25 plus years of experience as a defense attorney and as a former prosecutor. Hopefully, I'll be able to shed some light on some of the situations that are happening. So what we have in store for you today is pretty crazy, as will be a lot of the things that we're showing. So we're going to show you a traffic stop gone awry. So hang on for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this story begins at Big Pine Key, which is in the Keys on the southern tip of Florida, the southernmost point of our United States. And we're going to put up a map of that, and so you'll see the distance between Big Pine Key and Key West, which is about 30-something miles. And stay tuned to find out why that's significant. Again, with a traffic stop down at Big Pine Key, Florida, you see this lady take the left-hand turn, and you'll see the officer accelerating behind her. He activates his lights and sirens, which is what we call lighting someone up. And it is a clear indication that they're supposed to pull over, as we all know.
Why are you getting out of the car?
So significantly, she pulls into a lawful parking spot, and this will become significant later, so stay tuned. But let's just watch this interaction for a moment.
Walk to the back of your car.
You're gonna tase me?
Walk to the back of your car.
You're gonna tase me?
Walk to the back of your car.
Shoot me, why don't you?
Walk to the back of your car.
Shoot me.
So you can see the lady states she does not feel safe and she wants to call someone. She reaches in her reaches in her purse for her phone evidently, and this just sets the officer off. He pulls out his gun, says,
turn around.
Okay,
well, you can
see
see
this,
what's
right?
Turn around.
I will drop my bag for you. Are you a newbie? How long you been on the force, dude?
Do you think this woman poses a threat as an objective, reasonable person?
Place your hands behind your head.
For what?
Place your hands
Let me
behind
tell
your
you,
head.
the things she's saying,
Behind your bed.
no one should ever say to an officer unless you want trouble.
You're driving off the side of the roadway. You didn't use your turn signal, and you're speeding when you passed me.
You're joking, right? You're kidding.
I've ordered you multiple times to turn around and place your hands behind your head. Now turn around and put your hands behind your head.
Can I get my boyfriend?
No. Put your hands behind your head. Are you an adult?
I'm 35 years old.
Okay, you're an adult, then you can do this yourself.
I'm a mother of 3.
Look, ma'am, I don't want to hurt you, but if you don't listen to me, I'm going to have to.
You're going to tase me?
I will have to if you don't listen to me. Place your hands behind your head.
You're a little pumped up. Why are you squeezing my hand so hard?
Because you keep not listening to me. Stop.
Okay,
please.
Do you know who,
Stop.
Do you know who it is?
Okay, well, you smell like alcohol, too. Maybe that's why you're swerving all over the road.
Mm-hmm. You know who Dennis Ward is? Why don't you call him?
I don't need to call Dennis Ward.
Well, why don't you?
Because I don't need to.
Well, you might have to.
What does he have to do with this traffic stop?
Okay, so as you can see, this officer, for whatever reason, has decided to put hands and cuffs on this young lady. Does she appear to be a threat? I don't think so. You use your own judgment. Nonetheless, he puts cuffs on her, and in just a moment, you're going to see him take her and put her in his police car. There's a question here. Now, is she under arrest? So some would say, no, she's just being detained. Maybe that even shows up in a report, just being detained. But the question under the law is, would a reasonable person in her position feel as though they were no longer free to leave? Clearly, once he is directed to put her hands behind her back, handcuffs are placed on her, any reasonable person would feel that they are no longer free to leave. So under the law, I think it is very clear that this lady is now under arrest.
Really? Because if you take me to jail, it might, yeah. I'll blow. Go ahead. Let me blow. You're joking. How long you been in the force? What year are we at? You're new.
Okay.
You're so new. I'm 7th generation Floridian. You probably aren't
Please stay.
bro.
Stay.
Like, you're talking to me like a dog. Stay or what?
Okay,
dude?
well, I've
Stay
given you
or what?
orders as a normal human, and you don't seem to respond
No,
to
you're
that.
not. You're talking to me like I'm an animal, like a dog. Sit, stay. Like, look at your hand pressing on me, bro. You don't have to
You've heard me say before on this channel, you have the right to remain silent, and you should observe it. She does a really bad job of that, and you're going to see that go on as we continue to watch and listen to this video.
Call your supervisor.
I don't need to.
I think you do.
Do you have anything else on you?
No, I don't.
Here she requests that he call his supervisor. Now, you may have heard on other channels or see that they're required. I want to stop right here for a second. So, what I see here is a totally inappropriate touching of a lady who's already told the officer she's afraid. Okay? He's touched her. He's touched her sundress on top of her clothes, but her body, and he shakes her clothes, and I don't think that's appropriate behavior for any law enforcement officer. Clearly, it is the practice of most agencies, as it should be, that if there's going to be any touching or searching, it will be of people of the same gender, so they would have to have a female cop if they wanted to pat her down. But I think you'll agree with me, in this case, there's nothing, or could she hide something? I mean, it's a loose sundress, and I don't see where he has to be concerned about a weapon or anything of that sort. Okay.
No.
Resistance?
Yes.
All right, so he's clearly made a decision. He's told her, you're going to jail. And here he goes, placing her in the back of his police car.
Yes, you're going to jail.
For what?
First off, you're drunk and you're driving a car.
I'm not drunk and driving. Let me blow.
Be that as
Can
it may,
blow?
you're resisting.
Can I blow?
No, not right now.
I know my rights.
Okay, fantastic. Well,
Can I
one
at
of your rights
least
is
let
the
my
right to remain
boyfriend
silent.
know?
I suggest you do that right now.
Can I at
Put your
least let
feet
my
in the car.
boyfriend know to come pick me up?
No, you can call him at the jail.
Okay. Being arrested for, he says, drinking and driving. Do you think she sounds drunk? Is she behaving as though she's under the influence of alcohol or impaired by alcohol? Does she have slurred speech? Does she have bloodshot, watery eyes? Does she have any of these indicators that are required for someone to conduct a DUI investigation? Now, what does a DUI investigation entail? Well, almost always what it entails is the officer's observation of a driving pattern, which exists in this case. Before we started the video, she ran off the road. This traffic stop is a lawful stop. She pulls off abruptly. She jumps out of the car, but at no point do I see any indication that she's impaired, right? There's no bloodshot, watery eyes. There's no slurred speech. There's no stumbling, leaning up on the vehicle to be able to try to continue to stand up. So there are a lot of people that might identify this lady as behaving like a, quote, Karen, end quote. However, that is not an indication of impairment, although sometimes people act like Karens when they are under the influence of alcohol. So she rightfully requests, why am I being arrested? And his immediate response is, because you're drunk and driving, or under the influence of alcohol and driving. You're going to see by the end of this video what happened. What happened with regard to the DUI arrest. But as I said, typically there would be field sobriety exercises administered for a preliminary determination of whether someone's under the influence of alcohol. Now, what you've heard her say, and will continue to hear her say, is, take my breath, give me a breath test. I don't know whether Monroe County Sheriff's Office has a portable breath test, but why not? Why doesn't law enforcement have those so that they can do a presumptive test and save a lot of time and energy for both the citizen and for the law enforcement officer by just asking them, will they agree to providing a breath sample? And if they agree to provide a breath sample, at least we have a presumptive test as to whether or not they're under the alcohol. And as you probably know, these are very accurate these days. You can buy them over the counter. You can keep one for yourself to make sure that you never drive when you're above the legal limit. All right, so
put your feet in.
I don't know his phone number.
Put your feet
My
in, please.
phone's dead.
What's your name?
Darla.
I'm John, okay? I need you to put your feet into the car.
Can you look me up and make sure I'm not a criminal? You can't just take me like this.
I can,
have
actually.
Kids and a job, like, please.
Okay.
Can we talk?
Can you put your feet into the car,
can we have a
please?
talk?
Yep.
My purse is...
Yep, I'll get it.
Can we have a
Put your
talk?
feet in.
Please don't take me to jail. Are you serious?
Yes, you're going to jail, Darla.
Can you get all the money out of my...
Yep.
my
keep your feet in there.
I need my money out of my...
I need you to put your feet in.
So you can see Darla is going through a lot of emotions here, right? She's,
hi.
Apologetic, threatening, critical, a whole lot of stuff going on. But as you heard, she's going through a recent separation, a lot of emotions involved, what's going on in her life. And here we go with the search of the vehicle. Another huge mistake that she's made is Go ahead, search my car. Search my car. You'll see I'm not doing anything wrong. Just doesn't make any sense to do that.
Yeah, I'm moving. It's like a sign. Can we get the out of here?
So regarding agreeing to consent to the search of your vehicle, first of all, officers will typically ask you, do you mind if I take a look in your car? You don't have anything to hide, right? Do you care if I search your vehicle? Those sorts of things. If you say yes, you've just bought yourself 30 minutes to an hour on the side of the road while your vehicle is being searched. There are very limited exceptions as to when an officer can search your vehicle or detain you in the state of Florida any longer than it takes to issue the citation. Okay, so the law is, if you're pulled over for a traffic infraction, the law officer can hold you no longer than is necessary to complete the issuance of the infraction. Okay, so they can run your background, they can complete the ticket, and they can bring it out. We've won a number of cases where they've held people on the road too long while they brought a dog to do a search, or where they did other things. But if you consent, if you say, yes, you have the right to search my vehicle, or unfortunately, as Darla did, say, search my vehicle, directing him to do so, you have just bought yourself being stuck on the side of the road for quite a while, but maybe much worse than that, because with that consent comes the right to take your car apart. I've seen people in videos and actually live where all their stuff's left on the side of the road to complete the search is conducted, a search is completed, and they can take off door panels and leave them on the side of the road. So I always advise people, as citizens of these wonderful United States, observe your rights. Observe your rights. So the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution protects us from unlawful, that is illegal, searches and seizures of your property. Now, the Castle Doctrine protects your home first and foremost, but it also applies to your vehicles, okay? In fact, there are very limited circumstances on which an officer can even bother you in your car, okay? One of them is improper equipment, all right? So we've had a number of clients over the years and prosecuted them when I was with the state attorney's office who had an expired tag, or who had a brake light that was out, or who had a tail light that was out, or a tag light is very common, or even a headlight. So you should make sure your equipment is functioning properly unless you enjoy police encounters. In addition, obviously, running a stop sign, speeding, other infractions, violations of the law can result in a lawful basis to go against the Fourth Amendment to the United States. That is, give them an opportunity to have interaction with you. So if you follow all of the traffic laws and all of your equipment routes properly, you can more than likely go through your entire life without having an encounter with a law enforcement officer. So unfortunately, many times we invite these troubles on ourselves.
Hey, Roger, can you let me know if someone else starts walking up to me? Thank you. I think she dropped $1.
Okay. So as you can see, the officer is conducting a quasi, not really thorough at all search of the vehicle, but a little bit of a search. And as a result of her permission, or in fact direction, he's now found an open container of alcohol. Interesting point here also is the fact that she, at least at this point, doesn't appear to realize that she is being recorded, and that happens when you're in the back of a police car. It's very important, if you ever end up in the back of a police car, not to make statements, because that will come back to haunt you later. There is an audio recording and a video recording now in almost all police vehicles, so if you're put in the back of the car, they're watching. I've seen it where they will actually take two people, put them at the back of the car, let them talk about what's going on, where did you hide it, what did you do, and then they'll go get the recording and end up arresting these folks because they've now essentially confessed. Well, not saying it directly to the officer, they've made it clear. Where did you hide it, Johnny? Oh, I stuck it in the sock in the back of the thing, and then the officer goes and gets it, and they both go to jail because they know about it. All right, so we're going to come back to this. We're picking it up now with another officer joining the scene of this stop. It's good that another officer, backup officers, show up But what you're going to observe here is the arresting officer, the officer that arrested Darla, now explaining to this new officer who's just arrived on the scene what occurred before the new officer arrived. And if you'll go back, you can rewind it and look at it, but I think what he tells this officer what happened is not what I saw in the video at all. So I don't know if he has a memory issue or if he's trying to bolster his position or why he would tell this newly arriving officer something that wasn't true. But let's listen to what this guy says.
Up, turns down the street without using a turn signal, pulls down the road and keeps speeding up down here, almost hits a key deer and was driving all off the side of the road. And then as soon as she does stop, she jumps out and starts running towards me. So, and then I had to tell her like probably 20 times to turn around with my taser out, and then she told me just to shoot her. And she smells like alcohol. I don't know if she's drunk. All I could find was one buzz ball. But I'm gonna test her for DUI at the jail. But for right now, she's going for resisting. I don't think I'm gonna do flee and elude because it was kind of short. It was really like half a mile, but still lights and sirens, and she didn't slow down. Yeah, well, when she passed me, so I'm driving towards US 1 on Key Deer, and she's driving the other way, and she was literally, her passenger side wheel was completely off the road, like in the grass, and I'm just driving. I'm like, ah. So I turn around, I speed up, I get not too close behind her, and she's just still driving off the road, swerves back into it, drives off. I'm like, oh, maybe a DUI. So I turn my camera on, start following for a minute. She starts trying to turn down the side road without her blinker on, so then I put my lights and sirens on, and then she just like sped away. And then stopped here and started screaming for her boyfriend. 35, she said. Oh yeah, I called for code 4 when I had my taser out. I didn't know if I was about to tase her or not. I mean, I don't know if she was gonna, I don't even know her. She just kept asking me how long I'd been on and telling me that I'm a rookie and that I don't even vape, or like I've never been in Big Pine or something.
The real reason that she's arrested. He's talking about, she's calling me a rookie, asking me these questions. Now this, arguably, is the destruction of evidence as we see the officer throw this apparently open container into a garbage can. Not a really good practice. I'm pretty sure some training for these guys, or at least this one, would be appropriate.
Okay,
like,
so
the ticket, please. I'm a good, outstanding citizen. I'm a mother of 3. I'm a member of this community. Like, I'm trying to do real estate, trying to do better with my life. I'm not drunk. I'll blow for you. Like, I'm good. It just you scared me. I'm not gonna lie. I've been dating this guy that lives here for about 6 months. Yeah, we just got in a fight.
Okay, so here we have the discussion, the introduction of Scott. Scott comes into this video here shortly, and you hear her mentioning that they just went through a recent breakup, so there's a lot of psychological, mental, emotional things going on for this young lady, which probably explains part of why she reacted the way that she did to being pulled over. So hang on, you're going to see an amazing little deal. So hang on for Scott. Wait till you meet this fella and see what happens with him. It is it's captivating.